I used to think love meant having someone in your corner no matter what. Turns out, sometimes the person closest to you is the one quietly rooting for your failure. My name's Adam. I'm 34 now, and this is the story of how my girlfriend spent 5 years telling me I was chasing a stupid dream, until the day she came crawling back after it came true. I was 28 when it started, working a soul-sucking IT help desk job, answering angry phone calls about forgotten passwords for $17 an hour. I hated every second of it, but I had this hobby on the side, refurbishing old furniture. Picked it up in college when I couldn't afford new stuff. I'd find junk dressers at thrift stores, strip them down, stain the wood, and flip them online for a couple $100. It wasn't life-changing money, but it was something. And more importantly, it was mine. That's around when I met Jessica. She was 26, working in marketing for a big retail company. Gorgeous, confident, the kind of woman who could walk into a room and instantly have everyone's attention. I was smitten. We met through mutual friends at a house party, and to my surprise, she actually thought my little side hustle was cute. Within a year, we were living together in her nice 2-bedroom apartment that was way above my pay grade. The first time I brought up wanting to turn my furniture flipping into a real business, she laughed. Not cruelly at first, more like she thought it was charmingly naive. Adam, you're good at it, sure. But people don't build careers selling secondhand dressers. It's a hobby. Keep it fun, don't ruin it. I let it go. But the thought stuck with me. I started reading business books, watching YouTube channels about e-commerce, studying how people scaled niche passions into real companies. The more I learned, the more I felt trapped at my desk job. At 29, I made a decision. I was going to launch an online store. Not just flipping random finds, but building a brand around custom refurbished furniture. I scraped together $3,000 from savings and picked up every free hour I could to build a website, buy tools, and set up a small workshop in a rented garage. Jessica wasn't thrilled. "You're wasting your savings," she said. "We could have gone on vacation with that money. Instead, you're buying sawdust and rusty nightstands." That was the first real sting, but I shrugged it off. Maybe she just didn't see the vision yet. Year 1 was brutal. I'd work 9 to 5 at my IT job, then head straight to the garage until midnight. Sanding, staining, photographing, packaging. Weekends disappeared. My first month, I sold 3 pieces total. Barely broke even. Jessica's patience wore thin fast. "You're never home. You always smell like paint thinner. And for what? $50 profit on a chair someone's grandma probably died in." I wanted to quit, but something in me couldn't let it go. By year 2, I was gaining traction. I learned SEO, started running Instagram ads, posted transformation videos that slowly went viral. Orders trickled in steadily. Still small money, maybe $800 profit a month, but I saw the trajectory. Jessica saw wasted time. "You're 30, Adam. Grown men don't play carpenter in a rented garage. When are you going to focus on a real career? IT might suck, but at least it pays the bills." Her words burrowed deep. I stopped sharing wins with her. Like the first time I shipped a piece to another state, or when a design blog featured my work. When I showed her, she rolled her eyes. "Cute, but you're not exactly IKEA." Year 3, things escalated. A local boutique reached out, wanted me to supply a small line of custom tables. It was the biggest opportunity I'd ever had. I was over the moon. Jessica's response? "So now you're their handyman? Let me guess, they'll pay you in exposure." She wasn't entirely wrong. The boutique offered a slim profit margin, but it got my work in front of hundreds of new eyes. Orders started snowballing. By the end of that year, I made $25,000 from the side business, more than my IT job. That's when the fights turned vicious. Jessica started calling me the wood boy at parties, making jokes to her friends about how she was dating a wannabe lumberjack. Once, when I spent a whole weekend prepping a batch of tables, she flat out said, "You are embarrassing. A 31-year-old playing Etsy craftsman while real adults build careers. I bit my tongue. But inside, I promised myself, give me 2 more years. Around this time, Jessica also started going out more, work events. That didn't add up. I'd see selfies at bars with coworkers, drinks with a guy named Alex, who suddenly popped up in her stories a lot. Whenever I asked, she'd snap, "Don't be insecure. If you spent half as much time on us as you do on your stupid garage, maybe I wouldn't need a social life without you." The breaking point came when I finally decided to quit IT and go full-time with the business. I had $40,000 in orders lined up, contracts with 2 boutiques, and a small following on social media I could monetize. It was terrifying, but I knew it was the only way forward. I sat Jessica down. "I'm giving my notice next month. I'm doing this full-time." She stared at me like I'd confessed to a crime. "You're insane. We live in a 2-bedroom downtown. My career is already carrying us. And now you're going to throw away steady income for this? What are you, 19? Having some delayed midlife crisis?" That night, I realized she wasn't afraid I'd fail. She was afraid I'd succeed. A week later, I found the texts. Jessica and Alex. Not just flirting, whole threads of her complaining about me, mocking my business, joking about when she'd finally upgrade to someone with ambition. The irony burned. I didn't fight. Didn't scream. I just packed my stuff while she was at work and moved into my workshop. Left a note. "Thanks for the motivation." Year 4 was hell and heaven all at once. I lived out of that workshop, sleeping on a cot between stacks of lumber. But orders kept climbing. Instagram hit 100K followers. I landed a contract with a regional chain. By 33, the business cleared 6 figures. I hired 2 employees. Opened a small showroom. "Jessica?" She tried reaching out. First casual. "Hey, saw your video got a lot of likes. Congrats." Then desperate. "Alex wasn't who I thought he was. Can we talk?" I ignored every message. Then came poetic justice. One afternoon, a corporate client scheduled a design consultation. Guess who walked in behind their marketing director? Jessica. Same smug smile, only this time it faltered when she realized I was the owner. "Adam? Wait, this is your company." "Yeah," I said, shaking her boss's hand. "Welcome to my showroom." The color drained from her face. She spent the whole meeting awkwardly avoiding eye contact while her boss praised my craftsmanship and signed a $20,000 contract. Afterward, she cornered me in the parking lot. "I misjudged you," she said softly. "I always believed in you deep down. I just didn't want you to get hurt." I laughed. "No, you didn't believe. And you weren't protecting me, you were protecting your ego." She teared up. "Adam, please. I made a mistake. We were good together. We can be again." I looked her dead in the eye. "You called me a loser for chasing my dream. Now my dream pays for a staff, a showroom, and a 6-figure business. You don't get to come back just because it worked." She tried everything after that. Emails. Showing up at trade shows. Even posting a dramatic rant on LinkedIn about supporting men who betray you. But the truth was on my side. I had receipts, screenshots of her insults, proof of every bill I paid myself, every late night she mocked. The final nail came 6 months later. She lost her marketing job, downsizing ironically. Word spread quickly through mutual circles that she'd been angling to use Alex's connections, but after their breakup, she had nothing. Meanwhile, my business kept booming. I even expanded into a 2nd city. And the sweetest moment? Running into one of her old friends at a networking event. She leaned in and said, "You know, Jess used to tell us you were wasting your life. Now she can't stop complaining that she let you slip away. Funny how that worked out." Funny, indeed. Now, sitting here at 34, in my own office above the showroom, I've learned something important. Love doesn't mock your ambition. Love doesn't belittle your growth. If someone calls your dream stupid, it's not because they care. It's because they're terrified of you proving them wrong. Jessica thought I'd always be the IT guy who'd beg for her approval. She thought wrong. And if you're reading this while someone in your life tells you you're too old, too broke, too foolish to chase what lights you up, listen carefully. You are not too anything. You're just at the starting line. The only people who will try to stop you are the ones who fear getting left behind. And sometimes, the best revenge really is success.